Hello, tarot friends. It's September 30th. It's time to start talking about October. Every month, I have a tarot card for the month. And that it doesn't dictate my planning, but I'm just aware of my tarot card of the month. And then that helps me be kind of prepared for the theme or the mood of the month based on that card. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through my September card with you, which happened to be the Tower. And then I'll tell you about what my card is for October and how you might be able to pick a card for October for yourself and do a little tarot planning yourself. So it's very simple. I have here, this is my Canva template, which I'm going to put a link in the description, and you can download this monthly tarot card template if you desire to. But you pull a card for the month, or you can calculate one. I'll get to the calculations in a second here, but let's just pretend you pull one for the month. I actually do mine at the beginning of the year. I pull all 12 months at the beginning of the year, and I use that card. But I don't know. I'm muddying the waters. I'm just putting too much stuff out there. So let's just pretend you pull a card. You pull a card for the month, and then you put it down here on your month card template, which mine happens to be the Tower, as I said. So at the beginning of the month, you just use this first box and you just put some thoughts on there about what that card might mean for you for the month ahead. So in September, I pulled the Tower, and so I was like, okay, well, interestingly, my year card is the Chariot, which is the 7. So I was like, okay, well, right off the bat, the 7 is contained within the Tower of the 16 because 1 plus 6 is 16. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. My year card is contained. With the Tower card, a lot of times I say breakdowns or breakthroughs. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll have a breakthrough on income. Yay, right? You might as well put it out there. So I'm like hoping for a breakthrough on earned income. And then, contained within the Tower is this idea of falling down or things crashing down, or things falling apart. So I just put down falling down and getting back up again. And then I said, I hope it's not health problems, because a lot of times when I see the Tower card come up, that can indicate health problems. So at the end of the month, I put in this box here notes on how the month card showed up at the end of the month. So actually during the month, I put notes here in this box. And so here are these are my notes from September. I had a breakthrough insight about how I relate to money. So it was just like one of those kind of like subconscious things where I was like, oh, this is part of my money story. So I attributed that to the Tower card for the month. I thought of a process to test and create a product. I figured that was a breakthrough with income. The HEB pharmacy event is a no-go this year. That is another income statement for me because I am a tarot card reader at parties and events. And every year for 10 years plus, I've done this HEB pharmacy conference here in San Antonio. They didn't have it this year. I was like, what? Because that's the Tower is like kind of like rug pulled out from under you, like stuff that you didn't expect that to fall apart. It fell apart. The HEB pharmacy conference didn't happen. It was like, what the hell? Okay, that was the Tower. And then my mom, speaking of falling apart and ups and downs and falling and all that stuff, My mom had a very bad fall. A very bad fall. She had to go to the emergency room. It was bloody. It was not nice. She's still recovering. So that was definitely the tower. That was definitely the tower. My mom falling was definitely the tower. That was unexpected. It was it was an injury, and it was like falling apart there. Okay. Then back to the income and me again. I have only one party in October booked and nothing in September. Zero. I mean, that was a new one that I didn't have any in September. I'm like, okay. And then I put feeling a bit suicidal because here on the tower card, it's like, these could be, these are people, maybe they fell out of the tower, maybe they jumped out of the tower, maybe they're jumping to their death. It could be suicide. I'm sorry if I'm triggering anybody, but it's like, I'm not really suicidal, but I'm just saying it kind of went with the card, feeling a bit suicidal by the end of the month. So there you have it. Okay. So now on to October. So for me, my month card is going to be the Star for October. And that is a welcome relief. After the Tower, the Star is, it's time for renewal. So that's what I put in this top box. I put time for renewal and getting my bearings. Focusing on inspirational and out there material can be a benefit. So, the Star card could be related to things like astrology and tarot and other woo-woo out there type things. I put share who I am with friends, groups, and associations, because once again, this Star card, it can deal with the people that you hang with, the people that you associate with, the groups that you're in, and all of that. And then I put good time for stargazing, just kind of a literal interpretation there. It is the Star card. And a good time for networking. Going back to that, like I said, that groups and associations. So we'll see how October shapes up. And I'll be back here in November. And then you can see how October went. So if you want to download this worksheet, you can. I'm going to put a link in the description. I meant to do it before I went live, but I didn't do it. So I will do it after it goes back up. Yeah, and so then just real quickly, there's multiple ways you can come up with a month card. The easiest way is one, just pull it. Just shuffle your cards, pull it. That's your month card. Another way is, like I said, at the beginning of the year, I do a whole spread for the year, doing one card a month. And so I have 12 cards in the spread. And then I write them down, and then I know what my cards are going to be for the coming months. And then the last way, which is the most complicated way, is to calculate this month card. So the way you do that is, let me get my calculator up. Calculator, here it comes. I'm going to move it over here. If the calculator loads, then we can do this. Okay. So the first step is to calculate your year card. So the way you calculate the year card is to do the month and day of your birthday to the current year, which is 2024. So I'm just going to use me as an example because then I'll make sure I'm doing the math right. So for me, my birthday is August 18th. Plus 2024. Okay, so I get 2050. If we add all these digits across, we get 2 plus 0 plus 5 plus 0. That's 7. It's a 7 year for you. If you came up with a larger number here, because we need a number between 1 and 21, because we want a major arcana number for the tarot. So it has to be something between 1 and 21. So if you came up with a bigger number, then you just keep adding your digits across. So I'm just going to make something up. So just pretend your number was 2154. Okay. So you go 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 5 is 8, plus 4 is, well, that's 12. That still works. But if it wasn't, you would take whatever your sum was. Say the sum was 125, then it's 1 plus 2 plus 5. And so that's 3 plus 5 is 8. So then it's an 8 for you. Okay, so then once you have your year card, which like I said, mine is 7, then we're going to add the month, the current month or whatever month you want to know, which we're going to do 10. That's 17. That's the complicated way to do it, but you can do it. You can do it. So I think I'm going to shut this down, but I will see you next month. And don't forget to download your worksheet.